Now, the very reason why they did that to me is precisely to break my spirit. I realized more that our liberty is such a precious, precious thing. And sometimes it's even more precious than life itself.
Wala.
Any right-thinking judge would not be able to convict me. Ganyan talaga kapag mga ine-embento, di ba? May mga butas talaga.
Big thank you to my sponsors for supporting me. Special thanks to Chef Swakto, Swak sa Budget, Todo sa Sarap, Oh Dear Perfume, Patata, Wings and Fries, New You, Grills and Sizzles Gourmet Every Day, Mom's Lasagna Super Delicious, H2V2, Pancit Malabon by Country Noodles, Swak Food House, Marietta 2020, and Tercy's Beauty Studio Cafe. And of course, special thanks to Summer Sky Media Productions for making sure I have amazing videos for all of you guys. So now you've been free for nearly 1 year already.
1 year already.
Wow.
Last month, it was 1 year from being released on bail.
You have no more cases whatsoever.
Well, all 3 drug cases were dismissed already, although 1 case is on appeal by the Office of the Solicitor General. But we don't understand kung bakit inappeal pa yon, because that's violative of the principle of double jeopardy.
Because
Kasi
it was dismissed
I was
already.
acquitted.
Acquitted?
I was acquitted.
O di, double jeopardy na nga yun.
Double jeopardy.
Walang sense.
Yeah, no sense at all. So I don't understand why the Office of the Solicitor General still filed that appeal. So we're just waiting for that. But really, the trials and all, they're all gone. I mean, tapos na yung cases. So I consider myself as completely free and being vindicated.
Yes, exonerated, vindicated.
Vindicated, and especially what's happening, what we're hearing from those revelations before the Quad Committee and the Senate.
Na. They finally told the real story, you know?
Yes.
That they were used to...
Yes, because not many people believed me then. Many people believed Duterte. But ako, konti lang naniwala sa akin. So I already warned them. I warned the people already because I knew it when I filed that resolution, the one I was talking about earlier. Na nakita ko kaagad na ginagawa na naman yung ginagawa nila sa Davao. So, but most people did not believe me. So, at least now.
The court has sided with you and Senator Leila Delima 2.0, because this is your new wind, your new fire.
Yes,
So,
yes.
what is that one thing you're fighting for right now?
It's still about my core advocacies for human rights, social justice, and justice. So I easily react whenever I would see cases of human rights violations and also cases of injustice, because I was once a victim of both human rights violations and injustice.
Maybe God made you go through all of that to make you more motivated, would you think?
Well, looking back, I would really think that it was all a test of faith. And also to see how far I can go. You know, because I always think of myself as a strong woman, as a strong person, but I never thought that I would still have more capacity for strength, for courage, when I went through that ordeal. So ganun ang it's either titiklop ka,
Or kaya mo pa ba?
or kaya pa, and more fire within you. So ganun yun eh. And I was very conscious of that. Now, the very reason why they did that to me is precisely to break my spirit.
But no.
No, they're dead wrong.
They're dead wrong.
Yes, they thought that I would easily crumble. No, I realize now that I'm made of sterner stuff because I went all through that. So ganun lang. It's a test. It was a test. Also,
7 years, ah?
Yeah, almost
What a
7
test.
years. And also yung parang, siguro pinapahinga lang ako ni Lord. Dahil nga I was so busy, extremely busy in all my public life from from CHR, DOJ, and the Senate. So pinapahinga lang ako. And then, but then, nung magsi 6 years na, I was questioning na the Lord. Sabi ko, Lord, mukhang matagal naman yung pagpapahinga niyo sa akin.
Gusto ko na bumalik.
Almost 6 years na. So, yeah, it is only when you go through tough times that you're able to see, you know, what
you're made of.
What you're made of. Ganon. So that's one lesson. And one other lesson is that I'm able to appreciate small blessings in life. Because you're deprived of many things when you're in prison. I realized more that our liberty is such a precious thing. And sometimes it's even more precious than life itself. When you're deprived of liberty, it's as if your existence in this world is nothing. So, ganun ang mga realizations, small things in life. Kasi wala nga yung mga yung mga amenities na yan. And then things that I tend to overlook before, because I had no time to appreciate them, I appreciated them. Pag umuulan, nandun ako sa door ko, tinitingnan ko yung ulan.
Beautiful.
And then I suddenly became a plantita. I was not a plantita at
In
all.
jail, were you?
Yes, there was a small garden in my compound.
You were creating
because
your little garden.
Sen Kiko has a farm he has a farm. So may pinapadalhan niya ako ng mga all sorts of organic plants. So dinidilig ko sila and then appreciate cats because I used to be I used to hate cats because I had dogs at home and all my dogs hate cats. So I didn't realize they're also lovable creatures, the cats.
So you brought home 5 cats, is that right?
Yeah, out of more than 20 that I adopted.
What? You had 20 cats in
More
jail?
than 20.
Oh my gosh, you were a cat lady in jail.
Yeah, because they would frequent my compound, especially during mealtime. Those 5 favorites of mine, they would sleep in my bed.
Wow!
Kahit ang liit-liit nung bed ko.
What were the names?
Avatar, Lily, Doll, Duchess. But Duchess, on the first night, pag-uwi, she left. We never saw her again.
Oh. May mga gustong bumalik talaga sa loob siguro. Ayaw nilang laya.
Yeah, yun nga. Iniisip ko siguro bumalik ng Krame. Pero it's too far. Parañaque is too far from Krame.
She used you.
We looked for her. We searched for her for a few days, but we never found her. I hope she's still alive. I feel lonely whenever I think of her. And then the 5th one is Otto. Why Otto? Because nung binigay sa akin yan, may nagbigay sa akin yan, na guard. Actually, nakita kasi ng guard sa labas na iniwanan daw ng nanay. So naawa siya and binigay sa akin, a lady guard. And the day before, because it was given to me on a Sunday, the day before I watched A Man Called Otto.
Otto, the movie.
The movie, so easily yun ang naisip kong pangalan.
Otto.
So Otto is still with me, so it's just Duchess who's not there anymore.
Oh, so they slept with you each and every day in jail?
Almost each night. I also named the others, and some of them are characters of Game of Thrones.
I watched Game of Thrones inside too. From
Game
start to end, and I was like, this world is Game of Thrones, like this whole justice system.
Natapos ko yun, yung series na yun.
Same.
Yung Game of Thrones, diba sila ang dami ko mga, si Rob. Rob, pinangalan ko yung isa. Si,
Winter is coming, mga ganon. Oh,
yeah.
That's so
And
nice.
I was able to watch also some K-drama series.
She became...
Beginning with Chloe.
Oh! So na-in-love naman kayo sa loob?
Si Captain Ray.
The fantasies we can create inside jail, no?
Oh, yes!
Right? Because that's the only thing we had inside. To read all
Yes.
these stories and to just entertain ourselves.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching movies. Kasi nga, wala.
Same.
Monday to Friday, wala.
Series.
Series, mostly series. You know, Game of Thrones. And then Squid Games, I also
I
watched.
watched too inside.
Ang ganda, no?
Yeah. There's a part 2
Meron
coming
daw,
soon.
hinihintay ko nga.
Same! And then, alam mo yung mga nakakulong, pare-pareho yung iniisip eh. Pero Senator, okay, usually kasi sa atin, pag nakalaya na tayo, we are so grateful to the point na we've already prayed for everyone. Did you pray for President Duterte, Rodrigo?
Ay, nako.
I wonder, and all that persecuted you, have you forgiven them or pinabahalang mo na lang
I
kay Lord?
forgave all of them except him.
Except him, okay.
I'm not yet ready
You're
to...
human, it's okay.
Yes, I'm not yet ready to forgive him, although I've been praying for God's grace to be able to have that courage to forgive him, even if he's not asking for my forgiveness. Now, all the others are also, they did not also ask for, well, just a few of them asked for my forgiveness.
Lumapit sila sa inyo and to...
No, they expressed, for example, si Kerwin Espinosa.
Yes.
Diba? He even reiterated that in the Senate hearing. Dati na niyang sinabi noon na dati na siyang humingi ng tawad. But the rest, they did not ask. Well, most of the believed witnesses, they actually indicated their intention to recant. A few of them, 2 or 3, had actually recanted. And then some wrote to the judge and saying that they wish to recant their statements against me because they were just coerced. Pero hindi na kailangan kasi yung testimony nila ng judge, ng court. Kasi even without the recantation, the judge really saw that there was no evidence, no sufficient and credible evidence at all. That's why I was acquitted. The case was dismissed. And no need to present this recanting witnesses in court.
Wala.
Any right-thinking judge would not be able to convict me because ang daming mga inconsistencies, ang daming mga incredulities dun sa mga witnesses, mga believed witnesses. Ganyan talaga kapag mga iniembento, di ba? May mga butas talaga. Hindi
Malalaki.
malalaki yung mga butas sa mga kwento nila.
Oh, Senator, so sabi mo, there's one person you couldn't forgive just yet. And you were called for the inquiry on war on drugs. And tinabay pa sa'yo. Diba? Tinabay pa sa'yo recently. So you guys were seated side by side. Although there was a gap, you knew he was gonna be there. Did you know?
Yeah, in the Quad committee, both in the Senate and in the Quad.
Both, yes.
Both I knew. But sa Senate, there was somebody between us. But I knew that he was attending because it was reported by media. But when ako kasi mas nauna ako sa kanya sa hall,
So nakita mo na yung mga pangalan.
nakita ko na yung
Katabi mo.
magkatabi yung nameplates namin.
Did you request, parang pwede ba sa ibang area na lang ako?
No. I just thought, sino kaya may pakana nito? Ganun na ganun.
They wanted a
iniisip
show,
ko.
possibly.
They probably wanted a spectacle. So, but I didn't question it. And so it happened. The spectacle happened. You know that.
Did you tell yourself, okay, relax ka lang, Laila, do not show your feelings? Although there was a moment there na parang feeling ko, maiiyak na kayo sa galit. Parang that's what I felt when you were really showing na, like, you were proving that all these cases were untrue.
I was very conscious of that I had to be calm. Hindi pwedeng sabayan ko siya sa mga kaanuhan niya, mga theatrics niya. There was lots of theatrics, all those admissions against interest, and all of those. Lalo na sa Senate, grabe na naman yung mga pagmumura niya, all the profanities, all those expletives, all those sa Quad, hindi na siya masyadong because the Quad committee chairpersons already forewarned him about the need to follow the rules. You know, that's why di siya nagmura. Although nakakalusot pa rin siya, nang iinsulto pa rin siya.
Na-brief na pala si former president noon.
It was at the start of the proceedings. And then I didn't know hindi ko nakita yun yung kanyang gesture na parang susuntukin ako. Diba? I didn't see that because I was looking at the Quad chairpersons. But friends were texting me.
Forwarding you
Sabi
the...
niya, Did
The
you see that?
videos.
Did you see that? And then they forwarded a video clip.
What was your reaction?
Well, sabi ko, ganito pala ginawa nito. And then I just, because the proceedings were going on. Until again, there was another incident. Yung microphone, he wanted to hit si Senator Trillanes because Sen Sunny was seated, on my left was Father Flavi, and then Sen Sunny. And then I saw that.
Oh, you saw
I
it.
saw that, yung ibabato niya. And then I said, stop it.
You told him stop
Yes,
it?
stop it. Yeah, not many people saw that. But yung mga kasama ko sa likod nakita.
That was very
narinig na-
controlled of you, just to say, stop it.
Stop it. So he didn't react. He didn't react when I told him that.
What did you
Kasi
really want to do though?
pinigilan na rin siya ng kanyang mga lawyers.
Kitang-kita na rin sa screen. Pero if you were gonna do something na walang nakakita, what would you have done?
Yes,
Yung totoo, hide the raw reaction. Sana, pero of course that wouldn't happen. Like if there was no camera, what would you have done?
Kasi I was thinking, he's not physically weak actually. So, kahit siguro, kung isang ganun ko lang siguro matutumba yun eh. Yeah, that's what I felt. But I don't know if I would be able to do that, even, privately. Kasi he's an old man, a sick one. I mean, psychologically.
You just leave it to God na lang. Leave it to God. Okay. But if I was to see my persecutors though, maybe masusuntok ko sila sa mukha. Oh, I would. And then be like, sorry, Lord.
Kung tinuloy niya siguro yun, kung tinuloy niya yung suntok na yun, of course I would react.
You would do
Yeah,
your,
yeah.
ibabalik mo yun?
Ibabalik ko yun.
Could have had a brawl right there. That would have been the spectacle. But I really admire your control though. Kasi to be beside the persecutor of, for 7 years, tas talagang kung ano-ano mga sinabi to you.
After that incident, actually, a member of the secretariat told me, Ma'am, pinapatanong po nila, maybe referring to the quad members, pinapatanong po nila, baka gusto nyo gusto nyo mag-transfer. Sabi ko, no. I'll stay. Baka isipin niya, takot
Stand
ako sa
your
kanya.
ground, of course.
Yeah, I have to stand my ground. That's exactly what I was thinking. Baka people might think na takot
You're
ako.
weak. No, you're not
Yeah.
weak at all. Oh.
So I stayed there and endured everything in the thought that he's beside me.
Grabe. Did you have tension? Did you have like weird feelings when you were beside him?
No? I just although I was thinking, siguro gagawin na naman niya yung mga ginagawa niya sa Senate, yung mga ginawa niya sa Senate na the ranting and mga pakulo niya and all that, na he was daring even the ICC na bakit ang bagal-bagal nyo, ganon din sa DOJ, bakit ang bagal-bagal nyo, mga ganon. And he didn't realize that those are very significant statements that I'm sure ICC already took note of, and I'm sure ICC was monitoring also those proceedings. So it could only bolster the case against Mr. Duterte dun sa ICC.
So do you think he will be arrested very soon by the ICC?
We do expect, we do hope, and we're optimistic that there will be a warrant of arrest. We just don't know when, probably soon, maybe soon.
This year, you think?
Perhaps. We're not sure. We're not sure as to when. And I don't know if they're going to announce it beforehand. Baka magulat na lang tayo na nandyan na yung Interpol. Because I think they will seek the assistance of the Interpol. And the Interpol, in turn, would seek the assistance of Filipino authorities because we're still a member of the Interpol. And that's what Malacanang said when they issued a press statement within an hour that Duterte made that dare on the ICC.
Yeah.
Nasaan na kayo? Pumunta na kayo dito kasi magsusurrender ako sa inyo. O di kaya ako na lang pupunta sa The Hague. Kailangan ko lang ng pamasahe.
Wow.
All that drama,
Kailangan
yung usual style niya. Diba? So, and then Malacanang immediately issued
They support, right? They
a
said they
statement.
will allow
said-
ICC to enter.
Yes, they said that, okay, that's what the former president wants, we will not block him. And I think, notwithstanding yung mga previous statements na public pronouncements ni PBBM, na they're not recognizing the jurisdiction of the ICC, we will not cooperate with the ICC. I do think that when the proper time comes, kung nandyan na yung warrant of arrest, wala na siyang magagawa. Because, you know, this president is very conscious of his image in the international,
Yeah,
you know,
same,
in,
yes.
in international media and in the international community. So he would think that masisira siya if he would not cooperate with the ICC in enforcing the warrant of arrest. So maybe, you know, the time will come that he would change gear. He will shift from his non-cooperation stance into, you know, na wala na kaming magagawa, nandiyan na yung ICC. And, you know, we're still a member of the international community. We're supposed to be rules-based, we're supposed to be a law-abiding member of the international community. So we have no choice but to cooperate.
So you're confident he will be arrested by the ICC?
I'm confident, but I'm not sure about, siyempre sa umpisa siguro, there'll be some problem. You know what happened yung kay Pastor Kibuloy? It took almost 2 weeks before he surfaced.
Yeah.
He surrendered himself. Pero si General Torre was determined enough to really look for him. So maybe initially, magkakaroon ng problema. But parang ano yun test, ano rin yun test case. Yung what happened kay Pastor Kibuloy. Immediately you would think he's also untouchable because he's being protected
Yes.
by Mr. Duterte, by the Vice President, and by the rest of the Duterte family. And so, pero nangyari, nahuli siya, si Kibuloy, and then nakakulong na rin. And then probably, it would be a similar scenario for Mr. Duterte.
It won't be an easy arrest, definitely.
It would not be an easy arrest.
Now, once he gets arrested, how would you feel, honestly?
Totally vindicated, not just for myself, but for the victims, the thousands of victims, more than 20,000, between 20,000 to 30,000 families. So the families would be relieved, you know, because justice has been evasive with respect to those drug war killings, and that is why they had to rely on ICC. ICC is their best hope, not our domestic authorities.
Yes, not connected to the Philippines. And you know what? A lot of the female PDLs I was with were there because of the war on drugs, because their husbands were killed. They may not have been connected to drugs, but they were killed. Tapos the wives would be the one brought in jail. So we resonate with you when it comes to getting justice from the war on drugs and AJK.
May cases of mga palit-ulo.
It's true.
And then the cases of planted evidence. Diba? Yung mga, marami dyan. Kaya I always say that the victims of the drug war are not only the ones killed, not the victims of the EJ case, but also those who've been falsely accused
Yeah. Actually, the former
and
president
falsely jailed.
did say na may nakuha silang DJ. And at that time, I was the only DJ that was known to be to have been caught. And I'm like, talaga na-mention ako on a web of lies. So I know, I totally understand you when it's all fabricated.
It's all a web of lies. Conspiracy, yung sa akin, is a grand conspiracy of lies. Ganun yun. Kasi yun ang inano nila. Not only Duterte himself, yung kanyang minions, sila Aguirre, sila Calida, the former Solgen, the former Speaker, Alvarez. They were saying things about me. They were branding me as the #1 narco politician in the country.
Wow.
ka-level siguro ni Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar, pero wala naman security. Wala namang, magpasok ni Senator dito, wala, siya, naglalakad lang siya, parang nasa mall. Very simple, diba? But the way you were titled, such a big deal, no?
It's a big deal. Mother of all drug lords.
Wow.
Believe it, drug trade queen.
When you're a good person and you're fighting for good, there's a lot of people that will try to pull you down, no?
Yes.
Yun yung mga,
That's clear.
mga hindi gumagawa ng tama.
That's the law of human nature.
And now, Senator, ikaw na naman ay isang face of something big, the impeachment of VP Sara. By the way, just a trivia, we were supposed to shoot that day.
Oh,
That
yes.
exact day. And then we were so excited with your team already. On the way here, biglang sabi, oh, Ms. Karen, sorry kasi impeachment nga ni VP Sara and you're the spokesperson.
Yeah.
So we were like, instead of us feeling bad, we were like, okay, fine, this is such a big deal for the country. Also, the fact that we learned it first ourselves, guys, breaking news. But then again, mawawalan tayo ng guests. So we were very supportive of you and we were watching you on TV.
Thank you so much. So we met in the morning, 9 o'clock, the group of filers, the group of complainants. And then nandun ako. And then they could not yet decide whether or not to file it on that same day. You know, and because we were still waiting for the endorser.
Who's the endorser?
Congressman Percy of Akbayan. Kasi pag private citizens, you cannot file directly.
Cannot.
You cannot file directly. Your complaint must be endorsed by a member of the House. So in the morning, di pa sigurado kung merong endorser. Until nga we were told na Congressman Percy would be endorsing. Kaya tinuloy na. So nag-decide na about 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock na itutuloy na yung filing. So I told my staff, naku, hindi na ako aabot dyan sa 1 o'clock. So ni Karen. So they had to cancel it. So sorry about that. But you do realize that it was a more...
Big deal. It's fine. Yeah. We support you all the way.
I was just a spokesperson. I actually was not a signatory.
Why did you accept though another run of possible hatred towards you with all the trolls, the minions?
I just share the sentiments of the group. That is the right thing to do. And it was the right time to do it. It's the right thing to do because look at what VP Sara has been doing. All those pambabastos sa mga proseso, pambabastos sa institusyon, feeling that she's untouchable, feeling that she's above the law, that, foreign sa kanya, the very concept of accountability. She would not even want to explain the misuse of public funds, specifically yung intel and confidential funds niya. And you're supposed to be the second highest official of the land. And when you swear an oath, when you took an oath, when you were elected by a big majority of the people, that you're supposed to uphold the law and the Constitution. And the Constitution mandates accountability.
Yes.
Transparency and accountability. And then binabastos mo yung Kongreso. Kahit hindi mo type o hindi mo gusto certain individual members of Congress, but at least you're expected to respect Congress as an institution. Because it's there in the Constitution. And then yung mga, mga meltdowns niya.
Yeah, her reasoning really was like, it's not even connected to the topic. Diba? She was taking it personally, and it just felt, what's
her
the,
threats,
yeah.
her, yung nagmumura, and then the threat to assassinate the president, first lady, the speaker, if something happens to her. And then later on saying that it was just a conditional, it's a conditional threat. Na there's no such thing as conditional assassination or what. It's not a contract. And then the previous to that, meron din. Di ba yung her threat na the remains of Marcos Sr.
Oh, yes.
And throw it to the West Philippine Sea. And then also yung
Igagat niya.
Yeah, si PBBM. And then before that, she threw some tantrums when binawasan yung kanyang security escort. Nagbawas ng 75 PNP escorts, but it turned out meron pa pala siyang 400.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot. And yet, she questioned that. So the behavior, the misconduct, and we felt her behavior is escalating. It's bad for our country, especially so that he is the second in line. She is the constitutional successor if something happens to the current one, to the incumbent. And then she's vying, I think, for presidency in 2028. Can we afford again? Can we afford to have another Duterte for a president after what they did for 6 years? All those killings and all those pro-China stance, policy, halos binenta natin yung West Philippine Sea. Can we afford that?
I just don't want to experience the same thing as I experienced. I mean, personally, what more the other people that are tuned in?
Yes.
Maybe they have not been in prison before, but it was terrible. And it can happen to all of you as well. Kaya don't feel that, you know, dahil di nangyari sa inyo, hindi nyo alam, hindi nyo naiintindihan yung possible oppression that can happen to all of you. So ngayon, you are part of this impeachment. How did you become involved?
Well, because I was told that there is this group that was closely monitoring the happenings, especially the hearings. And then they could not anymore bear what the vice president is doing. You know, it's time to act, to uphold the rule of law, to uphold the Constitution. And they were expecting that the House of Representatives itself would do something, I mean, would initiate things, because they can do it.
Yeah.
They can do it directly. All they need is a vote of 1/3 of their members. They can immediately transmit that resolution with the articles of impeachment to the Senate, who would act as judges, whether or not to convict VP Sara. And so, nung nakita nila, yung grupo, nakita nila na hindi pa ginagawa ng House of Representatives, they decided that they should now file that impeachment complaint for the sake of our country, for the sake of the future generation. We cannot afford somebody like her occupying the second highest official of the land, and with all her attitude, his misconduct, feeling untouchable, and the misuse, especially, of confidential and intelligence funds. And then the expose of former Senator Sonny Trillanes about the existence of bank accounts. You know, and
So you have so much evidence already.
Yes.
Solid evidence that you can present already in the court.
Yes, it's a question.
And possibly win.
It's a question of
this
summoning
impeachment.
the AMLAC representatives, and for the AMLAC itself to present those, if asked by the House of Representatives or the Senate, acting as the trial court for the conviction.
Senator, you have so much things you are fighting for right now. And I'm wondering, would you ever want to be a president? Ever?
Everything that happened to me, my being in public positions, beginning with CHR, I never applied for those. I thought that I would just really be an election law practitioner for the rest of my life, because I was an election law practitioner before I was appointed. Even as a Senate, running for the Senate.
So those were all offered to you?
Yes, yes. It's CHR, that's the former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. She just talked to me. She summoned me through an emissary, and then in a one-on-one conversation with her, she convinced me to be chairperson of the CHR, and also the DOJ. After only 2 years being the CHR chairperson, I was supposed to serve for 7-year fixed term. So I was supposed to serve from 2008 to 2015. But then in 2010, when Noy Aquino became president, he also talked to me and offered me the the DOJ portfolio. I never applied for that position. And in 2015, when the filing of the COC, the Certificates of Candidacy, was right in the corner already, the President, Noy Noy, and former Secretary Mar Rojas talked to me and convinced me to be part of the administration senatorial slate for the 2016. I initially hesitated because I remembered what my late father told me.
And
he told me before he died in 2012 that if, of course he was talking in our dialect, if you're minded to still be in government service after your DOJ stint, please, if you can help it, don't enter politics. Why? He said, I might get hurt in politics because he knows me. He knows my character. That, I don't compromise. I don't, white is white, black is black for me. So, masasaktan daw ako. So, true enough. But then, President Noy Noy was, and Secretary Mar Rojas were very convincing. They told me that just think of your senatorial bid as an advancement, a continuation of your advocacies for both human rights and, of course, justice.
it's so interesting. These were not a calling for yourself.
No.
They asked you to please take part in this because they believe that you would make a
Yes,
change.
I never applied for government posts because I was doing fine in my election law practice.
Now, though, you're getting into a party list, so you didn't try to be a mayor, like a congressman, nothing like that. Why party list?
First, I'd like to say that I never intended to run for any office in next year's elections. I was thinking, or I only wanted to go back to my practice, private law practice, and resume my teaching. I used to teach in law schools, especially in San Beda. In fact, last SEM, I already taught in the La Salle School of Law, De La Salle School of Law.
You went back to teaching.
Tanyada Jokno School of Law. We co-teach, me and Dean Chel Jokno. We're co-teachers in human rights law in Jokno, in Tanyada Jokno School of Law. So I never planned to run for any office. But then when I was going around, because our president in the LP, Congressman Ed Salagman, told me that whether or not you're running for any office next year, you better go around the country and tell your story directly to the people. And that's exactly what I did. I accepted all sorts of engagements, and especially when events at schools and universities. And then in all of in those engagements, people would approach me and ask me, Ma'am, hindi ho ba kayo tatakbo for senator? They always mention senator. They never mention any other post.
You're actually gunning for a party list.
Yes, that was a last-minute decision. I never intended to really run for any post next year. But when I was going around the country, because that was the advice of our president, I'm part of the LP, that he was telling me, that this Congressman Ed Salagman, he was telling me that whether or not you're running for any elective post next year, you better go around the country and tell your story directly to the people. And that's exactly what I did. I accepted all kinds of speaking engagements, especially in schools and universities. And in those events, people would approach me and ask me whether I'll be running for Senate. And some of them would say, we want you to run again for Senate. And I told them, no, I have no intention, because I would rather go back to private life as a law practitioner and also to teach in law schools. Although I would still be pursuing, or I would still be doing things about my core advocacies. That's human rights and justice, that I continue to really engage in various human rights activities and coordinate with the human rights community, especially in relation to the ICC case. So, but then Kinausap ako ng ibang mga taga-LP, and they told me that we have now this party list, because this party list, this ML stands for Mamamayang Liberal. That is this multi-sectoral wing or arm of the Liberal Party. Because, you know, the Liberal Party is a national political party. So nagtayo sila ng Mamamayang Liberal. Although that organization has been in existence already nung time pa ni Pinoy. Para, you know, para may mga, that's the sectoral formation of the party, of LP. But it's the first time that it will be participating in the party list elections. So they told me, why don't you be the nominee number one? Because since it's a new party list, and we need a strong start. Because you know how it is in Philippine politics. No, you know, it's more personality based. You know, and technically in party list elections, the real candidate is the party list. So I'm the number one nominee, and the other nominees, I see former Congressman Ted Bronner Bagilat as number two nominee, then former Congressman Erin Tanyada as number three nominee. Our names will not appear there. Only the name of the party list, the acronym, ML. And nag-draw na ng lots yung COMELEC. And we are number 6. So high enough. Number 6, ML. Now, so syempre, kinausap ako ng kinausap and nakumbinsi ako. And I thought that this time around, I can be working directly with marginalized sectors. Because we represent various sectors. Women, children, farmers, fisher folks, workers, urban poor, indigenous peoples, and LGBTQ plus community. So in that sense, I would be working directly with the various sectors and be closer to the marginalized sectors. And that has been part of my advocacy, also not just human rights, but social justice. I think you don't know that I was the principal author of the 4-Piece Law, the 4-Piece Institutionalization Law, and also the Magna Carta of the Poor. Because aside from being the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Justice and Human Rights, but only initially because I was ousted later, as I told you before, I was also the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Social Justice, Rural Welfare and Development. So while in prison, I crafted the 4-Piece Law and the Magna Carta of the Poor. And thankfully, nakapasa at napirmahan ni former President Duterte. So part of my advocacy is really social justice. All of these sectors, even if they have distinct attributes, there's one ideal that binds them, and that is social justice. And social justice is basically those who have less in life should have more in law. So I was attracted by that idea.
In law, you said?
Yeah, in law.
In law, yeah.
You know, you enact more laws that would advance their welfare and interests. So naano ako doon, nakumbinsi ako doon, sige nga, okay. Then, so whether or not it's in the Senate or in the House of Representatives, it's up to you on how you perform and how you promote your advocacies. And I think I can do that in the House of Representatives, and at the same time participate sa mga high-profile investigations, just like what's being done before the Quadcom now. So I'm running for it, but may struggle kami in the sense that since many people think that I'm running for Senate.
Yeah, I would have expected that position for you, though.
So the challenge for the ML team is how to really convert into votes convert the popularity into votes for ML. We just have to really spread the word about ML, what it stands for. The challenge is how to convert it into votes for ML. So we're spreading the word about ML, what it stands for, and spreading the word also that I'm not a candidate for senator, but as a party list representative under the ML party list.
You're making a lot of noise right now, and also You're fighting for what a lot of people are hoping for the Philippines. So hopefully, through your platforms, they will vote for the party list that you're running for. But, you know, aside from that, Senator Leila Delima, ngayon kasi, diba, this is, you know, all about your advocacies. And since you're on your 2.0, your next, you know, your new wind, your new fire, anong masasabi mo sa mga nag-o-oppress pa sa mga tao ngayon? Sa mga tao sa politiko, you know, these people that feel like rules don't apply to them. What will Senator Leila Delima do to all of them?
Alam niyo po, alam niyo naman dapat kung ano ang totoo. Alam niyo kung anong katotohanan. Alam niyo kung ano yung idea of justice. And sana po, tumigil na kayo sa mga pagpapalaganap ng mga fake news, ng mga disinformation. Ayan, mga buhay na naman yung mga trolls na yan. So sana po marunong tayo mag-isip. Marunong tayong although I really don't engage with them. No, I never engage with them kasi I was told that na kapag you engage, lalo silang gaganahan. So pwede ho ba? Let's not allow the truth to suffer in our society. Let us not allow injustice to prevail in our country. It should only be about truth and justice. It's also about accountability. And sa next elections, importante po that you elect the right leaders. Each of us has one vote only. It's the particle of sovereignty. Huwag hong sayangin yung boto nyo. Kasi tig-isa lang tayo ng boto, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're educated or not educated, pantay-pantay po tayo tuwing eleksyon. So dapat ho, hindi sayangin ang ating mga boto kasi kung yung mga maling leader na naman ang mga mapipili natin, ang lalo pong lalala yung mga problema ng ating bansa. Think of the future generation.
Thank you so much, Senator Leila Delima. You give us a voice, all of us, especially the PDLs, the persons deprived of liberty. Gigil na gigil kami sa mga nangyayari nung nasa loob kami ng jail. And when you were in prison, we were on your side because really what happened to you happened to us.
Yeah.
So what you're fighting for right now is what we are all fighting for. So I want to say, firstly, I'm so honored and to have you here live in the flesh.
It's
It gives me a lot of hope.
Pleasure.
It gives me a lot of hope, a lot of encouragement that there could be great changes to happen here in this country because a person like you is still fighting for the right things. So thank you so much, Senator Leila Delima, here on the KULONGBIA Stories.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
And for sharing all the jail stories. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Kinikilig ako because she's the one person we wanted on the show and we finally got her. So thank you so much, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Miss Senator Leila Delima has already graced our show, and I think that's a wrap. Thank you so much, guys. And don't forget to support her in her new run this year. So thank you, guys. Bye.
Salamat.
Thank you so much, Senator. Yay.
Whoever thought my life would turn out this way? From being a radio DJ to spending 5 years in jail, then being acquitted for a crime I did not commit, now I am living more meaningfully knowing that setbacks are truly just setups for comebacks. Check out my YouTube channel for stories on overcoming odds on the bright side, untold tales of prisoners that are close to my heart on KULONGBIA Stories, and so much more. Again, check out my YouTube channel, Karen Bordador, and don't forget to subscribe. See you there! Mwah!